Hello and welcome to another lesson in the series on Cisco router configuration. In this lesson, we will examine configuring of router interfaces. Refer to the diagram displayed on Packet Tracer. We will configure router 0 using PC 0 connected by a console cable. For a router to direct traffic from one network to another, the interfaces on the router are configured to participate in each of the networks. A router interface connects to a network and has an IP address and a subnet mask assigned to it that are appropriate for that network. There are different types of router interfaces available. Serial and Ethernet interfaces are the most common. Most LAN connections use Ethernet. Unlike Ethernet interfaces, serial interfaces require a clock signal to control the timing of the communications. Normally, this clock signal is supplied by the device at the other end of the serial cable, termed a DCE device or data communications equipment device. But by default, Cisco routers are DTE devices, data terminal devices. This means they accept the clock rate signal from the DCE device. If two routers are connected together by a serial link, as in our example, one of the interfaces will need to act as a DCE device and have a clock rate configured. To configure the interfaces on router 0, we start a hyperterminal session on PC 0 and log into router 0. Then we'll enter the global configuration mode. Okay, here's our port configuration. Again, 9600, 8, none, stop bits 1, flow control none. That is all standard. We accept the default values and we hit enter to start. Okay, we are now in the user mode with the router prompt with the in the lower left corner indicating the greater than sign. We need to enter the privileged executive mode, and from here the global configuration mode. Configure using the terminal, and there we are in the configuration or the global configuration mode. All right, step 1 is to specify the type of interface and the interface port number. So we'll configure this serial port first. That's the one on the right. And so what we do is we specify it by typing the command interface, interface, and we give it, we tell it which one it is. It's a serial interface and port 000. Okay, notice how the command prompt has changed to configure-if. It is now in the serial port 000 configuration mode. So next we'll enter a description of the interface by typing the command description. And we'll give it some meaningful description like connection to router 1. All right, step 3, configure the interface IP address and subnet mask. We type the command IP address, and we'll give it the address that we have previously decided upon, which is 192.168.1.1.4. We will type that in, .168.1.4, and we give it the appropriate subnet mask, which will be 255.255.255.0. That's a Class C subnet mask. And because this serial link does not have a DCE device, we will configure this port as a DCE port, and we'll give it a clock rate by typing the command clock rate, and 64,000 bits per second is the correct number in this case. And then one more command, and that is to turn on the port or enable it, the interface, by typing the command no shutdown. Okay. We configure the fast Ethernet port, which is on the other side of the router, FA00, in the same way, except there will be no clock rate configuration because this is an Ethernet port. It doesn't require a clock. So we'll exit from this interface configuration, and we will select interface FA00 to configure. We'll give it a description. Connection to PC1. We'll give it an IP address, 10.1.1.21, and the interface or the subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0, which is a Class A subnet mask. We will enable the port by typing command no shutdown. And you could see up there that port instantly went green. That means it's functional. We will exit this, and we will save the running configuration to the startup config by typing copy, run, start. Okay, and that is how you configure the interfaces on a Cisco router. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.